Welcome to Sitting with Shay J. Today we're spotlighting leaders who are making a difference in our community. Today we're going to dive into some of the crucial conversation around education and the power of recognizing Black academic excellence. Joining me is Colorado Senate President James Coleman. Now he's a dedicated advocate for closing the achievement gap and creating opportunities for future generations. Let's welcome Senator Coleman.
Hey,
thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks
Look
for
at
having me.
Applause.
I appreciate that. I need that.
You like that?
Yes.
I don't need an audience. I have you.
That's right.
So excited to have you here today. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Senator Coleman, please tell me what makes you so passionate about being an advocate for excellence, for workforce development? Like, where does that passion come from?
I think the passion comes from growing up here as a kid in the city and seeing so many opportunities presented to me, and I just want to be able to create more opportunities for our youth. I remember growing up trying to figure out what it is that I wanted to be, and we see us getting acknowledgement for so many things, but not always academic achievement, and how that ties into workforce development. What is what I'm learning in class connected to what I want to be when I grow up? I don't always see that connection, and so we want to encourage our youth to strive for academic excellence, but we also want to make sure that they can be what they can see, right? And so we create opportunities for them through workforce development.
I love that. I remember being like that in school, like, what is this teaching me? Because I knew what I wanted to be, and none of it was really quite connecting until certain leaders stepped into those gaps.
That's right.
And made me understand my why, my purpose, and how some of these things would connect eventually.
There we go.
And now it's all clicking for me.
Yeah.
And when we think about the achievement gap, we know it remains a challenge. In your perspective, what are some of the biggest barriers that especially Black students face today in education and really getting past what it looks like for them to succeed?
Well, I think it really comes back to, in part, funding. Right now in the state of Colorado, we are focused on increasing funding for K-12 education and also not going backwards in losing funding for K-12 education. What's really critical is we used to, before last year, we used to fund our schools based off of affluency of neighborhood, where you lived. Right, and so we just got finished passing last year House Bill 241448. This is our school finance formula. We now fund schools based off of communities that are at risk, have ELL or special needs students. And so that's something that we're looking to implement this year, but we just passed that last year. I think that's a big impediment, and that's one of the things we're working on at the legislature.
I love that. You're giving our audience some knowledge about what's going on, because I'm always wondering how these things are progressing. When I'm looking at you really being a part of this Black Student Excellence Ceremony, can you tell me why this is so important and what this initiative is all about?
Well, thank you for the question. So I got to give a shout out to my main woman, Brittany Joyce, who was her vision for Black Student Excellence Ceremony. And so ultimately what it was acknowledging our students for their academic excellence. They're beautiful inside and out. We want to make sure that we tell them it's important that you strive academically. And if, let's say, for instance, you are an athlete, you can't even play a sport if you're not eligible academically. So these are really important pieces. So what the Black Student Excellence Ceremony is an event we had last year, our inaugural event in June 2024. We had 100 students around Denver Public Schools and even other districts that applied because they heard about what we were doing here in Denver. And we provided an award as well as a monetary gift for our students to say thank you for having academic excellence. And they had to have a 3.5 GPA or higher, be civically engaged, community engaged, and we loved on them. We showed them how much we appreciate them for their academic excellence. And so if you're interested in applying this year, the deadline to apply is March 31st. So at the end of this month. It's not too late.
Okay.
And we definitely want to make sure we have more students apply. There were students last year, Shay J, that didn't get in because of their academic performance wasn't high enough, or because we quite frankly ran out. There were other places around the metro area where we weren't able to give. So now we've been working hard to try to celebrate as many students as we possibly can.
I love it, because you're right. So many times we applaud kids for what they're doing on the field in some type of extracurricular, but not for being a part of their community and getting good grades. I needed someone like you around when I was growing up. Now, we know often when we look at education, it really is a tool to help break systemic problems, to help break poverty and inequality. What role do you feel like the government really plays in leadership and ensuring that these students are successful and making sure that their backgrounds are not what disables them from moving forward and having access?
I think the government plays a big role in making sure that there's equity in not only opportunity, but once you have gotten opportunity, how do we open more doors and break those ceilings for a lot of our students that don't always have the access that they need. And so for us, I think government plays a big role. We work on policies that impact that. We provide funding that impacts that. And so we want to continue to do that work at the legislature. One of the things that we did last year was we looked at how we credential our students and also how we look at secondary education differently than maybe someone who's been working in a career for 4 years that didn't get a chance to go to college. How do we mirror that? We've looked at models across the world. We've traveled and seen how other models work. And so we really believe it's important not only to support our children academically, but at the state level, what can we do to create opportunities for them to have apprenticeships and internships and work in those fields so they know what they want to do, what they want to be, and what they want to study when they do get to college.
I appreciate the work that's being done. When I think about this ceremony, and this is gonna be my first year, I can't wait to see how this all takes place. Besides the ceremony, what efforts are really being made to ensure that the students have continued access once they enter this initiative to make sure they're having mentorship or any type of guidance? What does it look like to make sure you're still helping, infuse things into these students?
Well, I think what's beautiful is the partnerships that we have with community. And so not only are our partners willing to support us to be able to give that monetary gift and that certificate and have that award ceremony, but they've also said, can we create opportunities for our students to have careers and jobs? And so I want to give a quick shout out. I know we'll talk about it, but places like UB Code Roofing, places like Teach for America, who are not only finding ways to build a pipeline for educators, but saying to our youth, how can we plug you in to that process as well? Maybe you want to be a teacher someday, right? And so we're excited about not just those sponsors, but we have so many more that have supported us, not just monetarily, but creating opportunities for our students.
That's huge. I feel like when you see people that are really invested in you, you more likely want to succeed because you see all these different investments in the community.
That's right.
And I think that's why it's so important to have collaborations and partnerships. When I'm thinking about this vision for the future, what is your vision for the future of education for Colorado?
That's a great question. Okay,
I have to ask you that. You're here.
I was told by Shay J we had 30 minutes, so let's not play. My vision for the future for education in Colorado is that we would have a fully funded education system where every single one of our children have access to a high quality academic option to be able to learn, and that we then tie that into career opportunities for them and what they want to be. And that also ties into, maybe I don't want to be in this profession. I found that out because I had a career opportunity in high school. Now I know what I want to do. So when I go to college, I'm not undecided for a year. I just went because everybody said that's what I was supposed to do. I now have a clear understanding on what my purpose is in life and what I want to do, and not only in career, but college. And so that's my vision, that every one of our children have that opportunity. It's the vision I have for my children, James Jr. and Naomi, who are starting high school in the fall. You know what I mean?
They're getting old on you.
Yeah, which also means I'm getting old. But that's all good. I said it. It's cool.
Okay,
We're going to get out of the way. But I want the same for my children that I want for all children, and that's what my vision is.
That's what makes you an amazing leader. It starts at really loving your own and then creating that impact across the community. When we think about people that are sitting at home that are inspired by your leadership, what advice could you give them about getting involved in policy and advocacy? Because a lot of times people don't know what step to even make to get involved.
Yeah, well, first of all, I think it's important you just reach out to your elected official. And if you're wondering at the state level, go to coleg.gov, coleg.gov, and you can look up who your elected official is by your address. Reach out to them. Remember, we just asked for your vote in November, and now we ain't gonna see you for 2 to 4 years. No, we got to see you. Call us, email us. We'd love to connect with you. In particular, when it comes to the members of the Black Caucus, I want to give a shout out. Last month was Black History Month, but this month's Colorado Women's History Month, and we're super excited about acknowledging that out of the 8 members of the Black Caucus, we have 5 who are Black women.
Okay.
And so we're really grateful to have that majority, and not just in the Black Caucus, but women make up more of the state legislature than men in Colorado as a whole. And so I would say reach out to Ashley Wedgeworth. She's our director for the Colorado Black Caucus, because she can also put you in contact with us as well. But we're every day, we're human people, right? We're not somebody up on a pedestal. Please feel free to reach out to us and engage with us. We want to hear from you, how we can engage with you. And I would just say, come down to the Capitol. That's the last piece I would say. That's your house, it's your building. And we want to see you. We want to engage with you more. We'd love to have you.
I like that feeling reminder. It's our house, it's our community, don't forget that. What else does anyone need to know about the ceremony coming up? How can they be a part? Give us any last information about being a part of the ceremony.
Absolutely. So again, if you would like to apply, make sure you apply by March 31st. The information will be provided to you here on Shay J so that you can apply. In addition to that, if you're somebody that wants to give, please reach out to us. That information will also be shared with you. We'd love for you to be able to contribute. We're grateful to all of our sponsors, but want to make sure that we're celebrating our children for their amazing academic excellence.
Yes, we are. Senator Coleman, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for your leadership, your vision. You've always been a part of change, and I think education is at the helm of what that looks like for Colorado. Thank you. And for those of you out there, remember, when we invest in students, we invest in our future, we invest in our communities. To our viewers, change starts with awareness and then action. Whether it's supporting education initiatives, mentoring young leaders, or advocating for policies that expand our opportunities, just be a part of taking your position. Everyone has a role to play in a brighter future. And remember, your voice has the power to inspire change. So keep rising, keep shining. Until next time, you are watching Sitting with Shay J. Together, we can create impact. Thank you so much.